Alright lads, so today is the release of the new 10th anniversary characters. We've already showcased Ichigo a few hours ago. Recommend you guys check it out if you haven't. He's an absolute powerhouse of a unit. Likewise, with the character we're going to showcase in today's video, finally after a whole decade, we finally got a female anniversary character. The second main character of Bleach, Rukia, is finally getting her original design unit, in this case as part of the Soul Ascendant series. Now, Rukia is a super popular character, and one can only ask why it took so long for her to finally get an original unit, but man, was it worth the wait. This artwork, this design is absolutely beautiful, which is what you would expect with an original designed Rukia. And with that in mind, I also want to preface right from the get-go, because the guild quest isn't available right now, the big thing about Rukia, especially with her killer effect, is that she wants to be used in the melee Stamina guild quest. So we're not going to try out in guild quest today, but I think that's a good thing. Due to the fact that she has a Stamina killer, it means in normal PvE content, she's never going to have killer. And usually it means characters like this are only ever going to be used in guild quests. But she has a lot of great things going for her that I'm really hoping she's going to perform great outside of guild quests. Kind of similar to Kenpachi, Senjumaru, Byakuya and Aizen that released during the pre-anniversary. All amazing units, but due to their killer, might see less usage when compared to characters that have the simple Soriba, Hollow, Aranka killer, etc. But I do believe also right from the get-go that she is going to be one of the better characters to use when she does have killer, as long as she's going up against Quincy's where she has an increased status and chance. With that said though, if we have a look at the character's damage output, once more similar to Ichigo, a lot going on here. So for starters, the character itself has Frenzy +3. That in itself is great, right? In terms of strong attack damage, she has 100% built in from the skills. Upon inflicting a status ailment, which in this case she can inflict Freeze Plus, she does get a 100% spiritual pressure boost. And then with that, she also does do 80% more damage to frozen enemies. So damage output is very good here. And then it gets even better through the EX skill that she does have. Right now, because I have a special level 2, I have an additional 25% spiritual pressure boost upon inflicting a status ailment. But the best part about this, with the way the EX skills do work, is that it's essentially multiplied by my base spiritual pressure boost, which is 100%. So this character doesn't just have a 125% spiritual pressure boost, it's actually 150%. And that of course gets further increased the more duplicates you get of this character, and that also goes again when you're using it as a link. Any speed character now gets significantly better with Rukia at 1 out of 5 or even 2 out of 5, especially of course at specialty level 5. So similar to Ichigo, she's the best link in the entire game, especially for the speed attribute, but it also just makes it so she has more damage compared to like most characters, even when again she doesn't have killer, which more often than not is going to happen because she's only ever going to have killer against bosses. Other than damage though, she has a lot of great things that I love in her unit personally. She has 2 flash steps. She has long stride, so she's going to be a very fast character. Her sword bump damage is also pretty good. She did come with bombardment +1, which increases the amount of hits that her sword bump does have. Alongside that, of course, she does have weakened defense. The damage to freeze enemies also is going to increase her damage output on the sword bomb. And then she also has a 50% devastation. So yeah, her sword bomb is also going to hit very hard, while also having the effect of being able to revive your allies that do potentially die after using the sword bomb. So right now, looking good. This is what you want in an anniversary character, especially an anniversary Rukia. Now, of course, with that in mind, the best way to build Rukia is with a Lieutenant's Badge, an Artisanal T-set, and also a Fortification Pill, and give it as much strong attack damage and recharge as possible. Personally, I'm going with these 3 soul traits for today's showcase. And bonus abilities, because she has so much going for her, go with full stamina, damage to frozen. You can change damage to frozen to SP focus. Either way, it's good enough. Alright then, so first up, let's take it into links or trials just to get a good feel of the character's strong attacks in of itself. Now, one thing that you will notice with Rukia in particular, especially more so her than Ichigo, her model looks super big. It's because she is floating and then she has the dress coming down, so she looks significantly taller than she actually is in game, but she is actually floating. She's not walking around like this. And then the 2 arm pieces make it like she has like really cool like ice armor, at least from the side. So first strong attack is going to be AoE in front of her. Really good range for a strong attack 1 in my opinion. Her SA2 is going to group all the enemies together while at the same time having like a crazy AoE at that final part. SA3 is going to one-shot there. Now, I can't remember if I forgot about this, because I don't think I ever mentioned it leading up to the release of this Rukia, is that her SA2 is actually a superior strong attack, so it's capable of doing some really good damage. Really good damage. And again, you're seeing here that we're pretty much one-shotting most enemies here, even though we're never going to have kill on. And the best part I think about Rukia, again, similar to Ichigo, it's the visuals. This character, the whole thing about Rukia's abilities is that she has the most beautiful Zanpakuto in Soul Society, and I think they did a pretty good job with this character's visuals, especially that full screen SA3 when we do decide to use it. Now, in fact, what we can actually do, right, is go ahead and use her EX move. Now, her EX move is a vortex around her, but it lasts so long. It lasts so long. Now, no enemy is in it, but like this is probably the longest vortex that we've seen on an EX move, which I think is quite impressive. And there we go. Take down the enemies. We're pretty much one-shotting. This character is a bit too overpowered, like a few other characters when it comes to, you know, this content. But let's go and use the Soul Bomb. Again, similar to Ichigo, really like this Soul Bomb. Ichigo, I definitely do prefer the Soul Bomb animation. It's a lot more climactic. The focus is the attack. When it comes to Rukia's special move, it does, you know, showcase the beauty of her particular Zanpakuto. The finishing shot, I think, is a nice touch. But her Soul Bomb is more so character acting. There's more focus on the character itself, Rukia, than the actual attack. Because the actual attack is basically just like similar to her Bankai. So I do think Ichigo has the better Soul Bomb, but they're both good for different reasons. And they're both also trying to go for different things. Regardless of that, though, first attempt, we did get a 1 minute and 55 second clear time. That's not too good, but we obviously can get faster once we lock in with Rukia. Now, when it comes to ranking characters from a meta standpoint, I do think this character is the best speed unit in the game, and I do think she is better than Kenpachi. Now, Kenpachi might still be better when it comes to Guild Quest content. Really, damn, that AoE behind is crazy. Again, the SA2 is way better than it potentially looks like. Yo, the enemies are crazy split apart here. What the hell? When it comes to Rukia, I think, you know, Kenpachi might score higher in Guild Quest because that's his bread and butter. He's not a Guild Quest character, but like he's just insane. The way his kit's designed, it's just so built for Guild Quest. And due to the lack of, you know, special immunities that Kenpachi doesn't have, the lack of long stride, Rukia is going to be a much more impressive character outside of Guild Quest content, which I think is actually really good for her. Because that's what you want, right? Even though her killer is designed for her to be used in Guild Quest, you don't want to just use her in Guild Quest. And I don't think you're forced to. I feel like this is a really good character outside of Guild Quest, but potential a lot of uses, despite it just having a stamina to kill her. Obviously, in my opinion, she would have been better with a different killer. You know, again, a Soul Reaper, Hollow, Human, no affiliation, Quincy, etc. But I think her killer is honestly fine with the way that her damage output does work. She realistically just doesn't need killer. Again, I really do like her end pose there. So we're a tad bit faster this time, but I was still just talking about the character, not really looking and trying to get a faster clear time. But again, we can definitely get under 1 minute very easily done. All right, then to attempt number 3, let's see how this does go. So SA1 into the 3, and then let's use our 2. Don't think they were in the full radius there, so we didn't get all the hits off. The final hits of the SA2 is where the character does do the most damage with this SA2. Superior strong attack 2. Look at that. Ginjo instantly went down. You love to see it. Now, I'm not sure when to use my Soul Bomb. I assume I would want to use the Soul Bomb here. Soul Bomb hits very hard. Again, weakened defense, bombardment +1, and devastation. Very high. Okay, SA3 luckily did actually hit the enemy there. Again, maybe not the fastest, but I do want to show the EX move. Okay, it lasts so long. It lasts so long. Does so many hits. And the good part about, I guess, Ichigo and also Rukia's EX move is that when they don't have killer, when they don't have their increased status or enchant, the EX move is pretty much just a guaranteed status proc against any enemy you want to use it against, right? Because it is a vortex, it has a higher chance to inflict status wins per hit, which I think is actually really good. In that case, I'm not trying to go for... I'm trying to go for like a fast clear time, but at the same time, I'm stopping to quickly showcase different parts of the character. So, one more attempt. This time, let's try and get hopefully under 40 seconds. Alright, then it's our final attempt. Let's see how this goes. SA1. Let's go here, SA3. Then use our 2. No surprise, then Misaki goes down instantly. Very good strong attack there. And I guess we're going to Soul Bomb here. I think that's the good spot to Soul Bomb. This room itself is bigger. That's fine, though. Let's SA3 now. Goes down. I guess to be fair, I didn't need to use the SA2 there, but let's EX now. Take down all those enemies, and then we're going to wait for the SA2 to come back. Go there, SA1. SA1 one-shot 2, and we actually kind of cancelled the animation there, which of course is really good. And then we finish up with the Soul Bomb, which we're going to let it play out. Really like the Soul Bomb. I like the close-ups. It kind of reminds me of like an attack that Rukia would do in her Shikai, you know? And the final shot is a really nice touch to emphasize the beauty that is this Soul Ascendant Rukia. And in that case, the clear time that we did get is... You know, now I think about it, the pink on the character looks really good. I wasn't really sold on like the pink earrings when we first got the leak of the character, but in model it looks really good. I'm a fan of it. So in this case, pretty much the same exact clear time as Ichigo. To be fair, with the character's damage output and kit, they are kind of capped out on how fast they can clear this quest. But 38 seconds is good. 38 seconds is really good. Next up, let's take Rukia into the Rukia Epic Raids. Right now, she is a 3 times damage bonus. Not like it matters though, because she's going to be doing a lot of damage anyway. But this is going to further allow her to clear this epic raid super fast, especially with the build that we are using right now. So in this case, we're using 3 Toshros, giving us 60% Berserker and also 60% more damage at full stamina. And the build and also accessories are pretty much the same, right? So jumping into our first run, the big thing that we are going to see with Rukia, especially right now when we are up against a Soripa, is we're going to clear fast if we get a status proc. If we can get our spiritual pressure boost, our damage is going to be super high. But that's going to be the big if, right? With no increased thousand chance against Soripas right now, we're going to be super good in epic raids until we get that spiritual pressure boost. At least when we're doing solo runs. When you're with other Rukias, everyone's going to be using your soul bomb. Likely you are going to get the status proc, but for a solo run, it's going to be quite the issue for the time being. Until we can get a status proc. But so many attacks are going off right now. There we go. Let me use my EX. Hopefully that increased thousand chance can actually get it, because the EX does hit quite a few times. Unfortunately, not quite. Not quite yet. No SA2 there. We might as well just spam all our strong attacks here. At this point, we're pretty much relying on raw damage, as if we can't even inflict status damage. There's bombs going off. Oh my god. Let me stand out the way. Right now, remember, this enemy has around 70 million HP. Oh. Gotta dodge that. There we go. SA2 is able to do some really good damage. And I guess in this case, we can soul bomb straight away. And then pretty much finish up with the SA3. So, their potential when it comes to clearing fast with Rukia, you just need to get that spiritual pressure booster. Man, for our first attempt, we really didn't get lucky. So, let's try that again. I think I'm going to change my game plan here. Hopefully, just get it straight away. Unfortunately, the SA2 is going to be pretty good for inflicting status amounts, given the hit count. But what we're going to do is go here as EX now. There we go. We got the SP boost. Okay, lovely. Let's soul bomb. SA3. Just keep it up. Decent damage. Maybe I should have saved the SA2. Oh, let's try and not get hit. Don't want to get too close to the attacks. Super close here. Let's make sure we don't take any damage. A lot of stuff is going to be going on right now. We can't get countered this, so we're not going to attack straight away. Good opportunity. And there we go. We cleared in, what, 40 seconds? Again, potentially able to clear in under 20 seconds had we been able to get the SP boost, like, pretty quick in the third phase. To be honest, that's not much of an issue, at least when you are using Rukia by herself, right? But Epic Raids is meant to be played with other players, so we do a full lobby. We're going to clear very, very fast. So now let's do an actual co-op lobby. In this case, I believe we have 4 Soul Ascendant Rukia, where at this point, everyone should pretty much just spam their strong attacks. Damn, we're kind of getting blinded here. It's kind of hard to see. I should have used my soul bomb right away. Seems like everyone's going to save the soul bomb for the next phase. Finally, one goes off. Just about. I'm going to soul bomb now. No, man, I'm not going to. All the soul bombs are going off. Alright, keep back from afar. Even though this is just a normal epic raid, Rukia do be doing a lot of attacks, in all honesty. There we go. Now, can I get my soul bomb off? There we go. SA1. And then we kill super fast. There we go. Nice and easy. So Rukia has ways to inflict status ailments despite the enemy, you know, not being a Quincy where she has an increased status ailment chance. If you can attack when the enemy isn't attacking, that's when you get the opportunity to inflict status ailments. In this case, freeze. Use your soul bomb or maybe use your EX and you're going to be able to clear pretty fast, especially if everyone has worked on Rukia. Realistically, we should be getting around less than 15-second clear time. Alright, so Rukia attempt number 4. This time we have other people with us. Forgot to tap the screen. My controller wasn't connected. Oh, almost got hit there. So let's use the SA2. Let me use my EX. I got the SP boost. SA1. There we go. I'm going to soul bomb straight away. SA3. Really good damage there. Straight into phase 3. If the other Rukias can follow suit, use their soul bomb. My SP boost. Damn, look at that. I'm not going to lie. That was pretty much all me. That was pretty much all me. I'm going to take all credit for that. And that's the potential with Rukia. We got the Spiritual Pressure boost straight away, was able to do enough damage to get into phase 2. Phase 2, someone did enough damage with the SA3, and that SA2 is really good for dealing a lot of damage, especially with the fact that it is a superior attack, so you really do notice that high damage on that final hit when all the damage is accumulated. And in this case, cleared in 19 seconds with a team, but let me brag and say it was mainly me. Next up though, let's take Rukia into Limit Breaker quest. Right now, she is a good character to use in slot number 2, as the rules are melee damage ×2 and speed damage ×2. I feel like with the way this character's damage output does work, as long as there are power Quincy's or just Quincy enemies in general with maybe a melee damage bonus, Rukia should be a pretty good character to use in Limit Breaker. That is yet to be seen though, but we will find out in the future. But the build that we are using right now for this particular run is pretty much again the same that we've been using all video. Alright then, so first up, we are using Isshin. Mainly just to more so highlight Rukia and not let Ichigo get the spotlight, because we did already showcase it on the channel already. Now, when it comes to fast content like this, like already mentioned, you can cancel out your animations with Rukia. The SA2 does have a little bit of a lock-in, but overall, it's not too bad. But Isshin is going to be used in slot 1 in exchange for Ichigo, because he's also still pretty good. His whole thing is non-stop inflicting burn and lacerate, so I would never waste an opportunity to praise the character itself. And he should be able to do pretty good, despite not really technically wanting to be used here. But that's how Isshin works. Whenever it's my character in slot 1, 2, or 3, you bring Isshin. Let's use our 2. So now that Ichigo's gotten 60 kills, we should be able to have our strong attack reduced in between phases. So next time the character's ready, we can instantly use our strong attack. So again, we don't really care about our damage output here. We're just going to let the burn and lacerate do its job. Like just there, for example. Now, first poise stage for Rukia. A lot of weakening plus pause on this map, but lucky for Rukia, she is again immune. So we're probably going to use our EX move next room, when Rukia is next available. But what we're going to do is use the SA2. Again, it just does so much damage on that final hit. It's insane. I totally forgot or never even realized that Rukia had a superior strong attack, and I'm glad she does, because it makes it a lot better. And it's something that, you know, this Ichigo introduced on its SA2. We haven't seen it much throughout the entire year, truth be told. Only, like, 2 characters got it before this anniversary. Driscoll being one of them. For some reason. It's like, he was a weird character release, man. Weird character release. So Ichigo's a tad bit slow here, but he'll make up for it next time we get to him, because we'll use his EX ability. So, first rotation in 2 minutes, not bad. It's actually kind of in line. We're going pretty well. So this one we should be able to one-shot, yeah, with 1 strong attack free. Really good there. Let's use our 2. Glad that we actually can use Ichigo in slot 3. Really good for just giving our entire team recharge in between stages. Let's go hit SA1, because then we just get the spammer attacks. You can never feel bad about missing a strong attack or using the wrong one, you know? So SA3 takes out 2 waves once more. Lovely. That's SA1. About to get into our next poised enemy stage. I guess we would want to use our summon, but I kind of want to use... I don't know. Oh, hold on. We took it here. Fortunately, we actually saved the stamina pod. That's new. They didn't always add that. I'm glad they did. I'm really glad they did, because I actually needed it there. The run would have been over. So again, with Isshin, the summon doesn't help. I don't think the summon would help at all, because it applies weakening and lacerate, where, you know, we really want the burn. So I might use my summon here. Now I think with Rukia, we're also clearing fine. You know, we'll do it. We'll do it just for the... No. Let's just keep going. We'll use the EX here. Probably should have waited. But we do have the SP boost. Again, that vortex lasts really long. It's good. And also has sound effects, which I don't really ever talk about sound effects, but I really do like Rukia's sound effects. It might be hard to hear with the sound not being super loud, but it's definitely worth mentioning, I guess. Right, so I'm going to wait for the SP boost to come back. So let's do that now. Soul Bomb. EX. SA1 into the 3. There we go. There we go. So it took us a minute to get through that rotation. No, 2 minutes once more, right? So we might be hard capped on Isshin stage. If we had Ichigo in slot 1, for example, we would get further than this. Because Rukia would allow us to get into like stage 26 potentially. And we might be slowed down on stage 26. Right, SA1. We're a bit slow on this part here. That's fine, though. SA2. And then let's use our 3 here. Still one shot and lovely, as expected. Would love to get into the next stage if we possibly could, but I don't think we will. Because I don't think Ishin's going to clear this stage in 20 seconds. So it's SA2. SA1. Maybe, you know. Let's keep them all in the corner. Yeah, because we... Yeah, again, Ishin doesn't need to use the Soul Bomb. Look at that. Ishin's still crazy, man. Still crazy. And then Rukia. We're not going to be able to use the Soul Bomb. If we had like maybe 20 seconds to spare, we'd get into stage 27. She's definitely possible. Like, it's possible for her to clear stage 26 pretty fast if we had extra time. But honestly, I think this team did pretty good despite us not actually having Ichigo. Look at that, 20 seconds on stage 25. We are going to update the tips at the end of the month. And Ishin's a weird one because he's so broken in Limit Breaker, but Guild Quest not so much. So I won't consider him an SS unit, but like if we ever want to do tier lists for each individual game mode, he's like triple S when it comes to Limit Breaker. He really is. Regardless though, Rukia performed actually pretty good here too as well. Again, characters like her you don't really ever want to use in Limit Breaker because she'll never have killer. The only enemies that appear in Limit Breaker are Quincy's, Sorubas, Hollows, humans, etc. So that's why you never see us use Kenpachi, Renewed Aizen, and Byaku. You probably don't see all too much in Limit Breaker. You can use them, but they're never really the best characters. And Rukia right now does have the benefit of being the desired character in slot 2. Killer want you to use her. But I really do believe that she might be one of the better characters that would never have killer in Limit Breaker just because of how good her damage output is. And similar to our Ichigo showcase, I do want to try Rukia in Sankuman content. Mostly because Stage 3, Mission Set 3 of the Story per Sankuman quest is one of the more difficult challenges where the challenge is to use no character links. Now, right now, it's a lot easier than normal, because you're able to use 2 character links and 2 accessories. But in the potential chance that the 0 link challenge comes back, there's only a few characters that can actually beat it. Off the top of my head, there's like 6 characters that can do it at special level 1. Now Rukia, if she can beat it, it's a testament to show how good her damage output is. Because again, not many characters can beat it in under 1 minute when you can't use any character links. Fortunately for Rukia though, given her stun rate to killer, she does have an increased chance against the Quincy's. No killer here, but she does get her increased stat summon chance. So think of another character that you could potentially use to take on this quest. And right now, damage output, look at this. Really good here. Let's actually use our EX just to get the next set of enemies into. Really good damage here. Use our SA1. 20 seconds already into stage number 2. Right now, we are looking absolutely golden. That SA2, man, it just does so much damage. Way more than I ever expected, to be honest. SA1 here, really good range. We use our normal attack string. Nat string also looks pretty good too. I much preferred Ichigo's Nat string, but the more I use Rukia, the more impressed I am. SA2. Is this the final wave? It might be. Yeah, look at that. 15 seconds to go. We have our SA3, we have our Soul Bomb, and we're not even using any character links. Insane. Let's Soul Bomb once more. One last time. We'll play it out. Yes, sir. We waited 10 years for this, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. And then finish up with the SA3. It was worth the wait. To be fair, we wanted an anniversary Rukia for many years, but it was really only during the 7th and 9th anniversary did we think an anniversary Rukia was possible. And of course, with that, we did get a little bit disappointed when it wasn't her. And also given the fact how they treated Bankai Rukia last year, an overall good character, but not what we wanted with the expectation we set for a Bankai Rukia. This makes up for it. It really does. So with that said, that's our first showcase on the brand new 10th anniversary Rukia. Normally, I would wait to try this character out in Guild Quest and include that in the video, but given the circumstance of her killer effect, I wanted to see how she did perform outside of Guild Quest. So on Thursday, when we do get the Millie Stammer to Guild Quest, we can focus strictly on how she performs in Guild Quest. Her killer does not restrict her by any means. An absolutely amazing character, a beautifully modeled character too. Artwork is great. Realistically, besides the killer effect, there isn't anything for me to really nitpick. I think it was worth the wait. The artwork is just beautiful, man. And that's just the best way to describe this character. As a Rukia fan, I'm happy to have her. I'm happy that she does exist in this game. And I think it was the perfect way to celebrate the 10th anniversary. Let me know in the comments below what you like to think about the character. And I'll see you later next time. Take care and peace.